What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, I'm TheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and it's funny that you're here because I was wishing that you were somehow here again. Look at that. There you are. Well, Angel of Music, let's dive in to my next review, which is the 20th anniversary of Phantom of the Opera, the uh, Joel Schumacher directed. I didn't even realize. I That's the funny thing is I came into this. I was looking for movies that either just turned an anniversary last year or this year. I'm trying to find movies because we're leading up to Valentine's Day, so I'm trying to rope in these movies. And I was like, oh, Phantom of the Opera. I owned it on DVD. Found it with audio description. Audio description track is actually really nice, by the way. It's really sort of helps get the magic out of it. What do I want to say? The glitz, the audacity is not quite the word that I want here, but of the extravagance of the film. It seems to understand that, and it does a good job of describing the Phantom without the mask as much as you can. As much as one can. It does point that out anyway. And little details throughout. The mirror scene was really well described. Yeah, the audio description here was really good. So I hope more people get an opportunity to hear this audio description track because I liked it. But I could have just put on my DVD, I guess, and watched this. Yeah, I'm a music theater kid, so of course I own this on DVD. The funny thing is, I haven't watched it that many times. This may be only my third time through, if that. It could be my second time. I think I have seen it twice though. This might be my third time. First time with audio description. And um I I remember seeing this in theaters. It didn't have a great critical reception. It was sort of like failed Oscar bait. Gerard Butler, Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson. And the one thing that I didn't remember was it was directed by Joel Schumacher, which feels like such a weird choice for a director of Phantom of the Opera. Like, you could have anybody direct Phantom of the Opera, and who do you get? Joel Schumacher? You know? I mean, honestly, did you see that one coming? Joel Schumacher is doing Phantom of the Opera. Weird, right? I mean, even if you're coming at it from a horror angle, Joel Schumacher is not known for being a horror director. He's not known for being a musical director. He's not really known for being a romance director. He's not really known for any of these genres. And I don't hate the movie either. So I guess he kind of pulled it off. But then again, when I think of Phantom of the Opera, I don't go, wow, that was the most memorable movie musical of all time. I just think it's been hammered a little bit more than it deserves to be. Especially, I mean, I think in 2004, when we had just kind of started expanding into movie musical adaptations, they of course went for Phantom of the Opera, and then we would get sort of an onslaught of more of them, and some of them are great. Like, I love Bill Condon's Dreamgirls. We'd always obviously already had Rob Marshall doing Chicago. Into the Woods is pretty good. I don't really have a lot of problems with Into the Woods. I like it. I'm not. I don't think we should count Hamilton. It's literally just a taped filming of their live stage show. Like, I mean, we could do that. Do you realize how many musicals we could have in theaters if we just accepted that that was a way to do things? Every musical would just be on there with the original Broadway cast. Be like, But yeah. So no, I'm not. I don't want to count the productions of that or Come From Away or Waitress, some of those that were released, because they're not the same thing. They didn't try to adapt. But I think Phantom of the Opera is a better adaptation than In the Heights, than Dear Evan Hansen. So and in general, I like the singing. Gerard is not right for the role, but he's also not a bad singer. Um, he just he's not classical enough for this. That's the thing, is that they picked somebody who's sexy for 2004 and an up and coming lead. Feels like they fit the role. Patrick Wilson's voice is maybe a little bit more, but still they could have gone with somebody who's a little bit better of a singer. I think Emmy Rossum's probably the best vocalist here. If she's not being dubbed, I should have checked. I don't know that she's. If I'm just gonna assume she's singing, because Gerard definitely is. That's definitely his voice. Um, but I like Gerard better as a singer than I do like Russell Crowe in Les Mis. So every once in a while they pick somebody and they put them in a musical and they're like, this person shouldn't be there. This is not a good voice. This is not a good singing voice. And Gerard's voice is teetering on that. But it's just very contemporary in its style, and it's not classical. Like, it doesn't fit Phantom of the Opera. So that'll be one of the things that I would cite about it, listening to it now. As a fan of Phantom, actually, if you're a fan of Phantom of the Opera, you should check out Love Never Dies, which is never going to get a film adaptation, especially because it would be so weird. Because I don't know, how do you do it? Do you address this movie? Do you bring back Gerard Butler? You can't, because of the way the movie ends. This movie has a clear finite ending to it because they didn't know Love Never Dies was happening. So, Love Never Dies has never, to my knowledge, had a United States run. People are familiar with it. It was filmed, so you can get it on DVD. But it's basically for all of the people that wanted her to end up with a phantom. Like, if you, it's like a rewrite of the ending to this movie. Is if you, instead of believing that Christine should have ended up with Raoul, if you instead believe she should have ended up with the phantom, well, Love Never Dies will get you there. Best thing about Love Never Dies is Till I Hear You Sing, which is the song that I love out of that movie. But I love the music in this as well. I think it's definitely one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's better musicals. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. Yeah, are there better movie musicals? Yes, especially in the last 20 years. I think we've done that. Um, I think there's some standout performances here. Emmy Rossum, she was having a great 2004. She was also in Day After Tomorrow. So it really helps sort of boost her career. Obviously, not enough to give her. I mean, she's not still today. People don't go watch Emmy Rossum movies today. Gerard Butler is arguably still the biggest star in this cast today. So, I mean, Patrick Wilson, I guess, if you're watching a specific film franchise, he works. If you're watching like Insidious or The Conjuring, I guess. But outside of that, I mean, what else, So, yeah. Odd enough, the person who's the most out of place ends up having the longest, the career with the most longevity. So, I guess I'm going to stand up for the movie because I don't know fully why it's such a punching bag. I guess because it could be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wicked is an example of just how good a movie could be. But also, so is Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Like, we have been blessed a couple times in the last few years with movie musicals that are phenomenal. Even ones that people are not talking about as much. I really enjoyed everybody's talking about Jamie from Amazon. I thought that was a great musical adaptation as well. Matilda was great. So we've had some really nice adaptations over the years. And Phantom is just kind of a little bit below that. It's a little bit in the good, not great, category. And while I don't mind listening to Gerard sing, I don't think he was right for this. Especially when you've heard all of the Phantoms over the years. If you ever had a chance to catch Norm Lewis when he has his run as the Phantom, he's a great singer and he brought a lot of depth. He has a nice, strong, rich baritone to his voice. And even though the Phantom is very rangy for a baritone, He still just nailed the shit out of it. So I I like this movie enough. It tells the story in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know that we needed that much longer of a movie. I can't. The last time that I actually functionally saw the stage production of Phantom of the Opera was before I saw this movie originally. Phantom of the Opera was like my first Broadway musical slash tour, like the one when it came as a tour when I saw it as a kid. I saw it when I was like 7. So have I seen Phantom of the Opera? Yeah. Have I listened to the soundtrack? Yeah. Would I notice little beats that were missing or things that were changed from the show? No, I wouldn't. Um, and I'm certainly less familiar with it now because I'm just not passionate about Phantom of the Opera the way that some other people are. I'm passionate about some other musicals, like In the Heights, which I don't know, probably mentioned that in like 20 different videos, how much I dislike John M. Chu's version of In the Heights. So, yeah, Phantom of the Opera, 20th anniversary. I don't know. It could be good for your Valentine's Day. It's a musical. It's a musical option. Um, and depends on which way you lean. Should is the Phantom's love for her what you're looking for, or should she end up with a role? If A is your choice, then you really need to find Love Never Dies and watch that, the taped production of the stage from the West End. But for the rest of us, you can watch this. I'm going to give Phantom of the Opera a B+. Yeah, it's my second look. It's not a Desert Island movie for me because, again, I'm questioning if I've even seen this twice. I think I have because usually when I bought it on DVD, I know I saw it in theaters, and usually if I bought something on DVD, I watched it on DVD. So I think I have 2 watches on this, but I definitely don't have more than that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.